On May 31st, Kazakhstan pays tribute to memory, one of the saddest pages of his stories, Memorial Day of Political Victims' Repression. These pages of history in the period from 1937 to 1938, despite the large-scale achievements in socio-economic, popularly called Alasapir and Zaman. That there are years of the hardest trials, implying forced scrapping traditional way of life and translation to settlement, that caused the death of about 3 million of people of the Kazakh population. In 1937, Stalin and his entourage made a report, Enemies of the People and the Need to Eradicate Their Rubble. In 1936 to 1938, public figures such as Sakon Seyfulin, Alakan Bokaykanov, Mirzakip Dulatov, Akhmet Baytursunov, Tarar Riskalov, Bayambut Malan were expelled from the party in Kazakhstan.
И дальше произнес крамольную для наших лжедемократов фразу: «К счастью или к несчастью, у нас только одна партия». То есть Сталин в этот момент уже понимал, что и демократизации, и вообще развитие страны стоит однопартийная система. При этом ему в голову не приходило немедленно создавать вторую партию, отнюдь. Он понимал, что для начала нужно ту существующую ВКПБ резко ограничить в ее всевластии.
Расстрелять!
Political repression in Kazakhstan began in mid-1928 with the arrest of figures of the Alash movement. They were accused of nationalism. They were sentenced to various terms of imprisonment and execution and forcibly exiled. Due to the strict policy of identifying Halik Shulari, not only the repressed themselves suffered, but also their loved ones. Camps have been set up for them in Kazakhstan. Karlag, Algeria, Steplag. The largest camp is Algeria, where the wives of those who betrayed their homeland were locked up. In this center of suffering, about 20,000 gentle creatures were in custody. Karlag, that is, the Karaganda Correctional Labor Camp, is the largest island of suffering in the Gulag archipelago. At one time, it occupied 300 kilometers to the north and south and 200 kilometers to the east and west in the center of Kazakhstan. And in terms of the overseas Akmola and Balkhash branches, the scale of the Karlag coincides with the land volumes of France. The Karaganda camp, in terms of scale, complexity of the structural system and potential, directly subordinated only to Moscow, is called the state within the state, and in terms of the power of the eye.
At the end of the 20th century, the justification of the leaders of the Alash movement began. In 1993, the Law on Rehabilitation of Victims of Political Mass Repressions was published. Monuments to victims of mass political repressions have been erected in the cities of Kazakhstan.
From this analysis, it can be observed that the majority of respondents, 44%, believe that political repression in the Soviet era stifled creativity and suppressed diverse voices, resulting in limited cultural and literary development. Meanwhile, a significant portion, 26%, of respondents believe that it sparked underground artistic movements and inspired resilience among artists, leading to the emergence of powerful and subversive artistic expressions. A smaller percentage of respondents, 22%, feel that the impact of political repression was minimal, with the dominant Soviet ideology overshadowing any potential cultural growth. Lastly, a small number of participants, 8%, expressed uncertainty or had no opinion on the matter.